Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss Offset. So, it's being reported that Offset is in trouble again, right? So here's what's going on. It's being reported that an arrest warrant has been issued for Offset, who of course is Cardi B's husband and baby daddy. This is a result of his recent actions at a Sandy Springs, Georgia Target store. At the store, it's being reported that Offset was shopping when a fan saw him and decided he wanted to film him on his phone. Come on, people, can that man shop in peace? Anyways, the fan started filming Offset and was like, "What up, Offset?" To which Offset walked up to him, said, "Get the fuck out of my face," and knocked the phone out of the guy's hand. The problem is, the phone fell to the ground and the phone screen was shattered. The owner of the phone then filed a police report. The police investigated and then got a warrant. So, Offset is being charged with a felony because the phone cost $800, which meets the threshold, and also they determined Offset's actions were intentional. So I'm guessing, since a warrant has been issued for his arrest, I'm guessing Offset's gonna have to turn himself in to the police. I think it would be in his best interest to turn himself in, as opposed to letting them have to come find him, because then, it's gonna be worse, especially from a publicity standpoint. Now, in addition to this, Offset already has some other issues, legal issues, alright? He was recently charged from an incident that took place last July. Last July, Offset was pulled over for allegedly making an illegal lane change. So he was pulled over for making an illegal lane change. And the police found 3 handguns in the car as well as $107,000 in cash. Now, before I continue with the rest of this story, I want to say something. You guys need to pay attention to this shit, right? I'm not taking up for Offset, you know what I mean? Because what the fuck you got with 3 handguns and shit in the car, right? I don't care about that. I'm not taking up for him. But I'm just going to point out something that's real, alright? This man was pulled over for an illegal lane change. Now, if you're pulled over for an illegal lane change, that's like a traffic citation, right? Like the cop gets your license and registration, and you know if you're black, they're gonna run you for warrants and shit, right? And then it's just a traffic citation. That's what he did. He broke a traffic law, right? Illegal lane change. If he really did it, because you know how that goes. Anyway, so he did that, and they pulled him over. But here's how that shit gets complicated, right? Do you ever notice when this type of stuff happens? Just pay attention when they pull over these rappers who are black, okay? When they pull them over, it's always some petty shit. Like, oh, you were driving erratically. Oh, you made an illegal lane change. Oh, you didn't do this. You didn't do, some petty shit. But they never go into detail. No matter what reports you read, it never goes into detail as to, okay, they said they found 3 handguns and $107K in cash. Tell me something. Do you think he was riding with that shit in plain sight? He would have to be the biggest fool to have 3 handguns out and $107,000 in cash out, right? So in order for them to have found that, they had to search that man's car, right? They had to search his car. How do you go from you made an illegal lane change to I'm gonna search your fucking car? Like, this is the thing that happens. Like, this is the shit that happens to black people every single day in America. You're driving down the street, police start following you. They keep following you. You see that shit, you know what's gonna happen. You know what's up. Once you make a couple of turns and they're still behind you, I mean, you're a target. You know you've been targeted. You know what's going on, right? And they're gonna pull you over and say you didn't do something. You didn't stop at the stop sign. You didn't put on your signal before you change lanes or some dumb shit. And then, they're gonna license and registration. And then, if you're not a criminal and they can't find shit on you, guess what they're gonna do next? They're gonna start interrogating you. Where you coming from? Where you going? Blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing black folks need to understand. You don't have to answer those questions. The only thing you're required to do by law is provide a license and registration. You don't have to answer any questions. But you ever notice how police talk to you? They talk to you like you better answer me. Bitch, you better answer my questions or I'm gonna arrest you, right? But you don't have to answer shit. It's your right not to answer those questions, right? So, but they always do this, and I don't care what neighborhood you live in. If you live in a black neighborhood, you always see black men sitting on the sidewalk and their whole car being searched. Every fucking day you can see this shit at least once or twice a day. Okay? How is it that you can stop somebody for a traffic citation and you end up searching their whole fucking car? Like, don't you need a search warrant to do that? Right? That man's illegal lane change, is that probable cause to search his entire car? Right? I don't think that's legal. Because here's how you know it's not legal. You don't hear stories like that happening to white folks. If it was legal, it would be happening to white people too. But you don't hear it. You don't hear any white celebrities got pulled over for making an illegal lane change and they found this and they found that. You don't find that shit. That shit don't happen. You don't hear those stories because they're not pulling them over and searching their shit, okay? They might pull them over and give them a citation, right? They might arrest them for DUI if they're intoxicated, but you don't hear nothing about them searching their shit because they don't do that to white people. But it's like standard operating procedure. When you pull over a black person, you need to search their car. Like, that shit is so fucking illegal, right? Aren't we protected? Aren't black folks protected from illegal search and seizures? Just the Constitution says you're protected from that, right? That's your personal property. You shouldn't have the right to just search somebody's shit because you say they made an illegal lane change. Now, if you got some shit in plain sight, now if the man come up to your car and you got a handgun in plain sight, well, you're fucked after that, okay? You're fucked because that's probable cause. If you got some drugs in plain sight, you're fucked because that's probable cause. But other than that, this shit where they stopping people talking about you made an illegal lane change and next thing you know, this man got all kinds of fucking charges. Again, I don't know what he up to, 3 handguns and 107K. I'm not taking up for Offset, but if they do that to him, they're gonna do that to every black person. And they do that. I mean, come on. It's not they gonna do it. They already doing that shit. Like, black people literally have no fucking rights. Here's what I tell people. I'm gonna tell you something. I always tell people the Constitution, the American Constitution, sadly, it's supposed to apply to everyone. It is supposed to apply to every single person in this country. But the Constitution was written at a time when black people weren't considered people. It really wasn't written for us. That's the problem. The Constitution really wasn't written for us. And to this day, it just doesn't live up to guaranteeing us the rights we deserve. Because it really wasn't intended for black folks in America. Alright? When they had this, you have the right to bear arms shit, it wasn't intended for black folks. Do you think they meant for black people to be able to carry guns? Do you think when they had that shit, you have the right to bear arms? Do you think that was intended for black people to be able to have a fucking gun? I don't think so. Do you think when they will protect you from illegal search and seizures, that was intended for this? It wasn't. And we haven't caught up. We still haven't caught up. Okay? This shit shouldn't be happening. You get pulled over for illegal lane change. The man shouldn't be searching your whole fucking car. Here's my license, here's my registration. Check me out. If you want to let me go, let me go. If you want to give me a citation, give me a citation. But let me tell you something. If you're black and you get pulled over, you have been targeted, and they don't stop you because they want to give you a citation. They stop you because they want to take you to prison. They want to arrest you. You need to understand that. And you need to be calm. It's important for you to understand that shit. And it's important for you to be calm. When you get pulled over by the police, the worst thing you can do is panic. You know they fucking with you, but you gotta be calm. You have to be calm. Because, okay, their intention is to arrest you. You need to really, really fucking understand that. They're not pulling you over to give you a citation, alright? So they're gonna take your license and registration. Well, if you don't have that, well, they can just lock you up right then and there because you're required to have ID at all times. So, you give it to them. They go check you out. You ain't got no warrants, right? All they gotta do is come back and write a citation for you. But guess what? That wasn't the intention. Again, you were targeted. That was not the intention. You didn't do this shit. That's just the bullshit reason, okay? So what they're gonna do, they're gonna come back to you. Give you your license and registration back, and then ask you, so where you coming from? Where you going? You don't have to answer any questions. The only thing you're required by law is to give your license and fucking registration. But they talk to black people in they always come up with this authoritative voice to make you feel like you have to answer them. When you don't have to answer them. And it's easy for me to tell you that shit. It's easy to fucking say don't answer the question. But when you're outside and you get pulled over, it's not really that easy. Because, depending on who the fuck stopped you, that can make things worse. I ain't gonna lie to you. You don't have to. The law says you're not required to answer the question. You're not required to answer any question. But if you don't answer the question, I mean, that shit could go sideways. Some of these motherfuckers, I'm gonna tell you something. Some of these police officers don't really understand the law. They really fucking think you need to answer them, okay? They really don't understand. That's the problem, too. That's part of the problem. Like, some of this shit ain't just racism. When the police stop black folks, it's not just racism, people. Some of these motherfuckers really don't understand the law. They really don't understand the law. They're police, but they don't understand the law. And when they ask you a question, they really feel like you better answer that fucking question. They don't understand that by law, you don't have to answer them. You can choose to, like, stay silent, because anything you say can and will be used against you. But again, some of them don't understand that. And if you don't answer, it could make things worse. I'm just saying, you don't have to, but you need to understand that if you do that shit, it could make it worse too. And that's a problem, because they don't understand the law. How are you gonna have people who's supposed to uphold the law don't even fucking understand the law? That in and of itself is a problem, right? So, anyway, as we're getting back to this, I just wanted to say that, alright? So as a result of this, right, Offset was charged with possession of a firearm by a felon, because he already has a previous conviction, and he was also charged with possession of a weapon during a crime, both are felony charges, and possession of marijuana, 1 ounce or less, and an improper lane change. Like, they really put that shit in there, and an improper lane change, both misdemeanors. So, since then, the felony charge of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime has since been dropped. But let's talk about that, though. It says the felony possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime has since been dropped. That man was driving. They pulled him over, said he made an illegal lane change, right? How can you charge somebody with the felony possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime? He wasn't in the process of committing a crime, right? That's like you're saying he was in the process of committing a crime. You know he was about to go commit a crime? How do you know that? I mean, yeah, you found some guns, you found some money, but you can't, just because you found some guns and some money, that doesn't mean the man was about to go commit a crime, right? Maybe he was, but how do you prove that? There's no way to prove what he was about to do unless he tell you, yo man, I was about to handle some business, I was about to do this, do that. Unless he would have confessed like a dumb fuck, how can you even charge him with that? Like, this shit is so ridiculous, man. Like, this shit is so ridiculous. The way they pile these charges up. All that man should have got was a fucking citation for making an illegal lane change. And now he gotta go to court and fight all that shit. And all them lawyers gonna get paid. They gonna get paid off of that shit. That's sad, yo. It's sad, man. It's sad. They tell you, stay calm and fight it in court. And which is what you're supposed to do. I will tell anybody, even if you think you're being done wrong by the police, the number one thing you need to do, people, is always stay calm. Do not let them aggravate you, because I keep telling you, when they pull you over, they're trying to arrest you. And they're gonna do whatever they can to aggravate you, to get you to act a fool, so they can arrest you. Alright? You ain't got no warrant. You ain't got no problems with your vehicles or nothing. Everything clean, your record clean, you're good. But they targeted you for a reason. Maybe they need to meet their quota. Maybe it's their time of the month. They need to meet that quota. They need to arrest somebody, and you're the target. Don't fall into that trap. Stay calm at all times. Okay? And they tell you that, and then, you still gotta go to court, right? And, they search your shit, because the Constitution wasn't written for black folks. So when they pull you over for a lane change, that's probable cause for them to search your whole fucking car. Every day in America, you see young black men sitting on the side of the street, and they whole shit just being ransacked. For what? Because the Constitution wasn't written for them. I'm telling you the truth. It's the truth. You need to really understand this shit. The Constitution of the United States was not written for black folks. And it's still a problem. Like, it really wasn't written for us. And poor Offset. I feel bad for the guy. A little bit. I don't know what he was doing. 3 guns and $107,000. But still, he just got pulled over for a lane change, man. How you go from a lane change to just searching through that man's shit like a fucking fool? Come on with that. Anyway, so yeah, he's got a lot of legal troubles. His lawyers are happy to have him on their retainer, I'm sure. Being retained by him, I'm sure. So, he's gonna have to sell some records. Oh well, Cardi's selling some records, so he'll be alright. In other related Offset news, CardiB, Offset's wife, she recently went to court because, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, whatever happened to that case? Remember the case where, she allegedly, tried to have, two girls beat up, female bartenders beat up at a strip club? So, apparently it's still in the works, that's still on the books. That's still going on. It hasn't been resolved yet. So she went to court. And, the prosecutors, I guess, they offered her a deal, if all she needed to, I think she was charged with assault and reckless endangerment, which are both misdemeanor charges. That shit, assault and reckless endangerment, that shit sounds serious, right? But they're both misdemeanors. Anyway, the gist of it is this. Cardi went to court. They offered her a deal to plead guilty to one of the misdemeanors, and she wouldn't get any jail time. But it's kind of like a conditional discharge, right? We're not going to give you time, but you're going to have to stay out of trouble for a certain amount of time, right? I guess it's kind of like when you're on probation, you know what I mean? We're letting you out, but you got to stay out of trouble for a certain amount of time before you're good. So she turned that shit down. She told him she ain't take it. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I don't know. I wouldn't take that shit either if I had her money. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just a regular person out here, I guess I guess it'd probably be in your best interest to take a deal like that. But if you're Cardi B and you're famous and you got money and you can afford lawyers, I wouldn't take that shit either. But if you like me, broke and ain't got nothing, and you find yourself in that situation, you be jumping on that shit like, alright, yo, I take it, you know what I mean? You be so glad, man. The criminal justice system is this shit is some bullshit, yo. Like, honestly, it's kinda like with, when you look at, what's her name? That lady, Lori Loughlin, with that whole scandal shit. This criminal justice system is so fucked up, man. Like, so they charged this woman with some stuff, and then they tried to offer her a plea deal, and I think it included some prison time, and she turned it down. So because she turned it down, they add a bunch of other charges on. So she decided, no, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to fight it in court. So then they add all these other charges. But my thing is, shouldn't those charges have been added in the first place? Like, if you felt like this is what the shit represent, then why didn't you charge her with all of that? So now they're saying the woman might end up spending, like, if found guilty, like 40-something years in prison for some bullshit. Like, come on, man. That whole scandal shit with the children and the school and all that shit they got going on. That shit is some bullshit. That's a distraction, people. Don't fall into that trap. That shit is a distraction. Okay? It's some fuck shit. Okay? Like, come on. You got these college athletes going to school, can't even afford, they grades couldn't even get in a fucking community college. Some of these star athletes going to Duke and you look at their grades, they wouldn't even get in a fucking community college, and they go into these high level universities. The whole process is fucked up. Alright? And they scapegoating Lori Loughlin. I don't think she should do no prison time. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna hate this woman because she's rich and she made a mistake. I hear a lot of people out there, they jump on her and they talk a lot of shit about this woman. But I'm not gonna do that just because she got money and I'm struggling. That's not gonna make me feel any better. Alright? She made a mistake. I don't think she deserves any prison time. I think they should give her some shitty community service shit or something like that. You know? I don't think neither one of them, her or Felicity Huffman, should get any prison time. Just make them do some shitty community service. Okay? Some shitty community service. Alright? Because you got these universities, they rigged the system. The only reason Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman were able to do what they did is because the system is already rigged to allow these athletes who wouldn't even be able to get into a community college to get into a school because they can make money off of them, right? They can make money off of them. They're not there to get no education. They're there to be used and get they can make millions of dollars, billions. The NCAA is billions of dollars business. You know what I mean? They're making crazy money. And they want you to hate Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman. I'm not going to hate these people. They ain't did nothing to me. They ain't did nothing to you. Okay? This is a distraction. They are a distraction. They're distracting you from the corruption in college basketball and the corruption in the universities that allow kids who can't get into a fucking community college with the grades they got to get into there because they can make money off of them. And then they wanna railroad Felicity Huffman. They wanna railroad Lori Loughlin. Like, they really are these vile, vicious people who deserve to go to prison and suffer for what they did. Get the fuck out of here, okay? They're not horrible people, okay? And neither one of them should do any prison time. This is some bullshit, okay? It's a distraction from the real truth, okay? And the real truth is the universities are fucking corrupt. This system is corrupt. All these people did was just slide into one of those open slots in the corruptions, okay? That's all they did. They just slid in there, and nobody noticed them until now, alright? If you take care of the corruption, you won't have to worry about Lori Loughlin. You're not dealing with the problem. They want to lock up Lori Loughlin. They want to lock up Felicity Huffman, but you're still leaving the holes. You're leaving the holes. Forget Felicity Huffman. Forget Lori Loughlin. Go after the universities. Close those holes up. Close those loopholes up. And you will never have to worry about a Felicity Huffman or Lori Loughlin. You are fixing a symptom when you should be fixing the problem, right? Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, they're just a symptom of the problem that exists. You're trying to medicate the problem. You're trying to medicate the symptom, but you're not fixing the problem. So, you fix this symptom, and then another symptom is gonna pop up because you never fixed the problem. Lori Loughlin, Felicity Huffman is just a distraction. Offset. Why the fuck this man got all these charges for a lane change violation? I don't understand that. Like, how you go from a lane change violation to getting charged with all kinds of fuck shit? This shit is crazy. But when you're black, that's normal shit. That you gotta look at that. So y'all need to pay attention. When you keep hearing these black rappers, I know that they some dumb fucks. I know. Some of them, they the dumbest fucks on the planet. They stupid as shit. But that don't mean that they should be treated like this. You know what I mean? That don't mean they should be treated like this. Cause if they got money and they got fame, and if they're gonna treat them like that, how they gonna treat the rest of us? I know you gotta, I'm not taking up for Offset. I'm looking out for myself. If they're willing to treat these guys like this, and they got money and they can afford high lawyers, what the fuck you got a public defender? You and I, we gonna have to get a public defender. You know what I mean? They can at least afford to defend themselves. We can't afford to do shit. We have to get a public defender and be fucked and take whatever deal they offer. You know what I mean? That's how that shit is. It's fucked up. So how this man, I'ma say, how this man go from a lane change to all these charges? And then they tried to charge him for having a handgun in the commission of a crime when there's no evidence that this man was in the commission of a crime, was committing a crime at the time. Like, I can understand if he was running out of a bank with the gun and he just robbed the bank. That's different. The man was in his car. How you charge him with some shit like that? That's how you know these charges are bogus, man. And that's not right. That's not right to do people like that. And I know, just because people are stupid doesn't mean you have the right to take advantage of them and treat them like shit. You know what I mean? They treating that man like shit, charging him with all that fuck shit. Now, I don't feel sorry for him, you know what I mean? Because they be doing some fuck shit and he keep getting into trouble and shit. But still, if they do it to him, they'll do it to anybody else that look like him. And that's the problem. That's the problem I have. If they will do it to him, they will do it to anybody else that look like him. And they do it to other people that look like him. You know what I mean? You get pulled over for a fucking traffic citation. Next thing you know, you got a ton of charges on you. How you go from that to that? I don't understand that. And everybody act like that shit is okay. Like, it's really crazy how the system just acts like that shit is really fucking okay. You pull a man over, say he didn't switch the lane right or whatever, and now he got to go to court with all these charges, and people act like that shit is really, oh, well, I guess that's just okay. He shouldn't have had those guns. He shouldn't have had that, No, it's not the point that he shouldn't have had the guns. How the fuck they find the guns? That's the problem. How? Explain to me. It's never in any of these reports you read. It's never in those shits. Because they can't explain it. They can't explain how they take a man for a lane change, and instead of writing him a fucking citation, instead of writing a citation for a lane change, they giving this man all kinds of charges. They search the man's car and find shit. And they charging him for it. Well, like, really? Really? Come on now, that's bullshit. But that's the black experience in America. That's what it means to be black in America. It don't matter if you're rich, you're famous, or whatever. When that man pull you over, he ain't pulling you over to give you a citation. He pulling you over to take you to jail, and they gonna sit down and figure out what kind of fuck shit they can charge you with, and they gonna charge you with everything and anything. It's like a fucking game. I really do. I feel like sometimes this shit is like a game to these people. It's like a game. I don't think they take people's lives seriously. I think they just see this shit as a game. How can I build my career? How many black people can I lock up? How many black people can I prosecute to build my career so I can move up and be somebody in life and shit? So anyway, that's all I have to say. And please subscribe to my channel, comment, share, and have a nice day.